Hey guys, Antonio here again with some more of Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. Today we're going to be talking about how to handle anxiety and worry. The last time we talked about anger, now we're going to be handling anxiety and worry. So, what is anxiety and worry? It usually comes in the form of a fear that you have of something happening. And honestly, a lot of times, especially the ones for me, maybe not for you, but they usually are irrational. It's our mind making a bunch of assumptions on situations given off of the small amount of facts that we have. So, when fear comes in, fear is meant to make our attention go straight onto the object that we're scared of. It's meant so we can put all of our powers, all of our mental, physical powers behind handling the fear and finding a way out of it. So what tends to happen is you tend to obsess over the situation that you're anxious or worried about. You tend to run through things that might happen in your head. And depending on your state of mind, which chances are it's negative if you're feeling anxious or worrisome, what ends up happening is you come up with all of these crazy ideas of what might end up happening or what is happening in this current situation. So, it forces the obsession, trying to handle it, and it makes you go over all the possibilities. Now, there's two types of anxiety and worry that we need to discuss here. There's cognitive, it's worrisome thoughts like, what if I get in the car today and someone hits me in behind as I'm driving and I go straight through the windshield and I die. That is a very irrational thought. Chances of that happening are very, very slim. But that is a worry-filled thought. It's cognitive. Second is physical. It is when you're sweating, when your heart is racing, when you have butterflies in your stomach, muscle tension. Something that how I can relate to the physical side of this is when in social situations I used to be a lot more quiet and not as outgoing. And when talking to brand new people, my heart would sometimes be my heart would sometimes be racing. I'd feel that elevated heart rate. I'd feel the butterflies in my stomach. I'd feel really nervous and anxious about the entire situation. Why? Because I was raised in a way to think that I might not be as socially outgoing as I should be. Now, a lot of this has been pushed aside from pushing through the fear and worry. Sometimes it still comes up, but I'm getting better and better in dealing with it. So those are the two different forms. Now, the whole purpose behind this is to help you find a solution for the problem. That is good. That is good. That's why this negative feeling that most people associate with is good. That's the whole point of feeling the emotions. We want to feel them, learn from them, and move forward. That is the point. We want to find a solution for the problem that we're having. Because a lot of times the fear is not something that you should be. Now, sometimes the fear of death, of a highly possible death, is something you should be scared of. But a very low percentage of death happening, that's something that you probably should not be scared of. But you probably have some beliefs that force you to feel that way. And what tends up happening is, what tends to happen is instead of focusing on the solution, we end up focusing on the problem and finding other ways that the problem is negative, and we keep ruminating on these ideas and become more and more anxious. So that's where the emotional intelligence part comes in. You need to realize that the anxiety and worry comes in for finding a solution and not for making you think negative thoughts. So the first step here is to catch yourself as soon as you're doing it. I used to be extremely afraid to go talk to new people, as I said before. But now, as I've caught myself feeling this anxiety, my heart racing, as I'm about to go talk to new people, I have been able to catch myself and be like, look, Antonio, this is not something that's crazy. You're just talking to a new person. What's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is the person that maybe doesn't like me at all and calls me an asshole for trying to start a conversation with him or her. Now, is that going to kill me? Is that going to affect me? Only if I let it. So that fact that I was able to stop myself in the middle of the whole process of feeling the emotion, catch it and say that this is a good thing that I'm doing this because it's a solution for the problem that I have of not being able to talk to people. I need to find out what makes me feel this way once I realize that I'm having anxiety and worry when it comes to this specific point in time. And one way I did that was trying to go back. Usually it's something that you were programmed from childhood or earlier in time, some belief that you had, and try to map it back to today and why you feel that way. And then some techniques you can use to, once you find out what it makes you, why you feel that way, you need to start questioning it and trying to act in the opposite direction. So apply some relaxation techniques when you're feeling overwhelmed with worry and anxiety, such as meditation, go for a walk, not heavy, but deep and slow breathing, controlled breathing tends to control down this racing heart and sweating in the physical side, which tends to drop the cognitive side. They're connected. And then ask yourself, what is the possibility of something really bad happening, similar to what I did in that situation previously? And how can I make it better? How can I take this problem that I have and turn it into a benefit for myself? I wasn't able to talk to new people as easily. Now I'm able to do it easier. I'm still not a pro at it, but if I can turn that into one of my best qualities from a negative, that would be awesome. I'd be able to connect with so many more people. I'd be able to learn so much from all these other people that I'm now talking to. So I hope you guys take all these tips on how to improve anxiety and worry. I've used these in my life before I even read this book. This book shined a light on how I actually did it. I kind of just figured it out on my own. So please leave me a thumbs up, guys, if you enjoyed today's video. I'm going to leave a link in the description for you to purchase a copy of this book on Amazon, guys. And as always, subscribe and have a wonderful day.